Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dayna from This Pixie Creates, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make the Zig and Zag Potholder. This is the 9th potholder in our crochet along series this year, and I can't believe it's already September. Thank you so much to everyone that has joined the crochet along so far. Whether you've just watched the videos in silence, liked them, commented below, or shared a picture of your finished make in the crochet along Facebook group, I appreciate you guys so much. This potholder is made by crocheting 2 identical squares using the single crochet and spike stitch to create a fun zigzag pattern. You can find the free written pattern and everything you need to know linked in the description box below. Let's get started. Okay guys, we're going to start by making a slip knot. Place it on our hook, then tighten it up. Now chain 28. We are going to start row 1 by working a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So this chain right here, the closest one to the hook, is the first chain, and this one is the second one. So going into that second chain, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and draw up a loop so that we have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. That's a single crochet. Going into the next chain, we're going to make a single crochet. And we're going to do this in each chain across, working 1 single crochet into each chain. Alright guys, we have 1 chain left to work into, so we're going to insert our hook into that chain and make our last single crochet of the row. Turn your work to start row 2, and we are going to chain 1. We're going to start by making a single crochet into the last stitch of row 1. This is going to be our first stitch of row 2. Going into the next stitch, we're going to make a single crochet, and we're going to repeat this all the way across, working 1 single crochet into each stitch. Alright, we have 1 more stitch to work into, so we're going to go under both loops and make our last single crochet of row 2. Alright guys, we are at the end of row 4. We have 1 stitch left to work into, and this is when we are going to change color because we change color every 4 rows. Okay, so for our last stitch, we're again going to go under both loops of the stitch, and we're going to yarn over and draw up a loop. So we have 2 loops on our hook. At this point, we are going to drop our current color, and you can trim your tail, leaving a long enough tail that you can weave in your ends. Okay, we're going to grab our next color, color B, and loop it over our finger. So now pick up the new color with your hook, and we're going to pull it through the last 2 loops on our hook to complete that single crochet. Now we can tighten up our stitch by pulling on the old color to close the stitch, and you can also pull on your new color. And there we go. We have now changed color. To start row 5, we're going to turn our work, and we're going to chain 1. Now going into this first stitch, we're going to make a single crochet. All right, so this next stitch that we're going to work is called a spike stitch. So a spike stitch is a long or extended single crochet stitch. So it's going to be worked the exact same way, but the placement of it is going to be a bit different. So see how this is the next single crochet of the row. We're not going to work into that. We're actually going to go 2 rows below. So not this first row, but this second row here. So in this single crochet, we're going to go just below it. Insert your hook below this stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop, and keep pulling on the loop until you reach the height of your current row. Now yarn over and pull through both loops. This is a spike stitch. Going into the next single crochet, we're going to make a single crochet, and then our next stitch is going to be a spike stitch. So we're going to find the single crochet of this current row and then find the stitch below it. So this one right here, going underneath that stitch, so right here, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and draw up a loop. Keep pulling to make it the height of your current row, then yarn over and pull through both loops. So this is going to be our pattern repeat. So we're going to single crochet in one stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to go 2 rows below. So below that single crochet from 2 rows below, we're going to make a spike stitch. And we're going to repeat this all the way across. Alright guys, we have 1 stitch remaining and we've just worked our last spike stitch. So we're going to make a single crochet in the last stitch of the row. Turn your work to start row 6 and we are going to chain 1. Going into the first stitch, we're going to make a single crochet. Going into the spike stitch under both loops, we're going to make a single crochet. Alright guys, so we've reached a point where there's a single crochet and 2 spike stitches on each side. So we've just worked into the previous spike stitch. So at this point, what we're going to do is make a single crochet 2 together. So what that does is it's a decrease stitch, so it joins 2 stitches together to make 1 stitch. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to insert our hook under the legs of the spike stitch. So in this first spike stitch, we have 2 legs. This is our first leg and this is our second leg. So we're going to insert our hook under the second leg only of this first spike stitch, and we're also going to insert our hook under the first stitch of the next spike stitch. So this stitch right here, this leg right here. When both legs are on our hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through both legs and draw up a loop so we have 2 loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over and pull through both loops. That makes 1 single crochet. And we've now joined these 2 legs of our spike stitch together. And that just makes a really cool triangle effect. Okay guys, into the next spike stitch. So find it, tilt your work, going under both loops. We're going to make a single crochet. Instead of working into the single crochet, we're going to single crochet 2 together. So we're going to join these 2 spike stitches. We're going to insert our hook under the second leg of our first spike stitch and the first leg of our second spike stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through both legs, and draw up a loop. Yarn over and pull through both loops. Going into the next spike stitch, we're going to go underneath both loops and make a single crochet. Instead of working into that single crochet, we're going to join these two legs together. So going underneath the second leg of the first spike stitch and the first leg of the second spike stitch, we're going to yarn over, draw up a loop, and yarn over and pull through both loops. So we're going to do this all the way across, working one single crochet into each spike stitch and joining the second and first leg of the two spike stitches together. We've just joined the last two spike stitches together with a single crochet, and we have 2 stitches left to work into. So the second last stitch is this spike stitch. So we're going to work a single crochet, and the last stitch is a single crochet stitch, which we're going to make a single crochet into. So this is what row 6 should look like. So for row 7, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet in each stitch across. So starting in this first stitch, we're going to make a single crochet into the next stitch, single crochet, and so on. For row 8, we're going to turn our work and chain 1, and just like row 7, we are going to make a single crochet in each stitch across. For row 9, we are going to repeat row 5, which is the spike stitch row. So we're going to start with a chain 1, single crochet into the first stitch, spike stitch 2 rows below in the next stitch. So in here, we're going to insert our hook under this single crochet and make a spike stitch, bringing it up to the height of our row. Into the next stitch, a single crochet. In the next stitch, 2 rows below. So in this single crochet, we're going to go underneath it and make a spike stitch. And we're going to repeat this all the way across, and row 9 should end with a single crochet in the last stitch of the row. For row 10, we are going to turn our work and we're going to repeat row 6. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to make a single crochet in the first stitch. We're going to single crochet into the spike stitch. And instead of working into the next single crochet, we're actually going to join these 2 spike stitches together by working under the 2 legs. So we're going to go underneath the second leg of the first spike, and we're going to go underneath the first leg of the second spike, yarn over, pull through both legs, draw up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops to create that single crochet. Now single crochet in the next spike, join the 2 legs of these 2 spike stitches together and make a single crochet in the next spike stitch, join the next 2 spike stitches together with a single crochet, and we're going to do this all the way across until we get to the last 2 stitches, where we're going to work a single crochet in the last spike and a single crochet in the last single crochet. Alright guys, now that our 2 squares are done, we are going to join them together. So this is the right side. As you can see, we can see the zigzag pattern, and on the wrong side we can see the spike stitches. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the right sides are facing out and the wrong sides are touching. So just grab your wrong sides, put them together, and there we go. Alright guys, we are going to fasten on with color B, or any color of your choosing. So we are going to make sure that our squares line up, and we're going to find the first stitch in the top right corner, and we're going to go through square number 1. We're going to find the matching stitch of square number 2, going through the front and back loops of each stitch. Okay, loop color B over your finger, pick it up with the hook and pull it through those 2 stitches. Leave a long enough tail so that you can weave in your ends, and we are going to chain 1 to start. Okay, going into that first stitch, under both loops of each stitch, we're going to make 1 single crochet followed by a second single crochet into that same stitch. So what we've done here is we've made our first corner. For round 1 of our border, we are going to alternate between a single crochet and a spike stitch. So if you guys remember, the spike stitches are worked 2 rows below. So to make sure that we're going into the correct spot, we're going to grab square number 1. We're going to go into the next stitch 2 rows below. So this is the first row, this is the second row. Going underneath that stitch at the bottom of the row, we're going to insert our hook. And now from the back side, we're going to find the matching stitch. So it's going to be our next stitch here, which is right here. We're going to go 1 row below, right here. We're going to go underneath that stitch. Okay, now yarn over, draw up a loop with loose tension, and we're going to yarn over and draw through both loops. We made a spike stitch. Okay, line up your squares again, and going into the next stitch of both squares, we're going to make a single crochet, and we're going to make a spike stitch in the next stitch. So find your next stitch, which is right here, go 2 rows below, so right here, we're going to go underneath that stitch. So insert your hook just below row 2. And now we're going to find the matching stitch for square number 2. So this stitch right here, we're going to go 1 row below. We're going to insert our hook underneath that stitch, yarn over, draw up a loop with loose tension, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Okay guys, we're going to do that all the way across. So going into the next stitch of both squares, I'm going to make a single crochet, and I'll show you this one more time. So into the next stitch, we're going to go 2 rows below, so 1, 2. Going underneath row 2, we're going to insert our hook, and we're going to find the matching stitch for square number 2. So this right here, and we're going to go 2 rows below, right here, going underneath that stitch, yarn over, and draw up a loop, and pull through both loops. we're at the last stitch at the top of the pot holder. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make another corner. So we're gonna go under both stitches of the square and we're gonna make 2 single crochets into it. So this completes the top portion of our pot holder, and we're gonna work along the left side now. So rotate your work so that you're working along the left side, and we're actually gonna be working into the sides of each row. So for this, we're going to continue to alternate between spike stitches and single crochets. The only difference is the number of stitches that we work. Remember guys, there are 4 rows of each color section. So I found that the pot holder is straighter when we work 3 stitches across 4 rows. So instead of working 1 stitch into the side of each row, we're going to just work 3 stitches into every 4 rows. All right, so now that we have done our corner and we've just finished a single crochet, it's time to do a spike stitch. So I found that the best place to put a spike stitch is actually going to be right here. So where this spike stitch ends, we're gonna insert our hook and we're just gonna do the best we can on the back side as well. You can kind of flip your work to make sure it's in the correct spot. And we're gonna yarn over, draw up a loop, make sure that the spike stitch comes all the way up before we yarn over and pull through both loops. So we've just made a single crochet spike, and so going into the last row of this colorway, we're gonna go in and we are going to make a single crochet. Okay, and that finishes off this conch colorway. Now we're heading into the blush. So this time, so in the conch we worked a single crochet, spike, single crochet. So for the blush, we're gonna work a spike, single crochet, spike, because that's just how, you know, it alternates. Okay, now to make your spike, I found that the best spot is to go underneath. So go kind of through this stitch, the center of this stitch, this spike. So go through there, line it up on the back, if we can, okay? And we're gonna make our spike, okay? Into, you know, the next little area, we're gonna make a single crochet going under both squares. Okay, and then our last spike is going to be worked into the blushes spike stitch. So going into the center of that stitch, going into the center of the stitch, we're going to make a spike. And we're going to repeat this all the way across. So I'll show you this one more time. For our blue section, we are going to work 3 stitches. So this time it's going to be a single crochet, spike, single crochet. So just like before, we're going to kind of go in closer to the top. So we're going to go closer to the top of this section and we're going to make a single crochet. Right? Now the best place for a spike stitch is right at the bottom of the blushes spike. So go through that area, make sure it's the same area at the back, and make your spike stitch. Okay, now we have this area here. We're just going to make our last single crochet for the blue section. And there we go. Now, the dark pink section is going to be a spike, single crochet, spike. So, just like before, we're going to go through the center of this spike stitch. Okay, so go through. We're going to make our first spike. Okay, now in the center of this dark pink section, we're gonna go through square 1, go through square 2 and make a single crochet. And now we're going to place our last spike stitch in this dark pink section. So it's going to go in the center of this dark pink spike. So there we go, guys. You're going to repeat this all the way across. Okay guys, so we are at the end of the left side. I just worked my last spike stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate our work so that we're working along the bottom. So each stitch is going to be worked into the bottom of the starting chain. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our first stitch for square 1. We're going to find the matching stitch for square 2, going under basically into the bottom of each chain. We're going to make one single crochet followed by a second single crochet into the same stitch. So again, we're going to alternate between single crochets and spike stitches. Since we've just done our corner and our corner is single crochets, we're going to make a spike stitch next. So we're going to find the next stitch, and it's right here. We're going to go 2 rows below, which is right here. So this one is actually pretty nice because it's really easy to insert our hook into 2 rows below, because that's actually where we placed our spikes, our first spike stitches of our squares. So basically our spike stitches are going to line up with these spike stitches. So we're going to insert our hook where the bottom of that spike stitch is, on the other side as well, and we're going to make our first spike. And we're going to find our next chain, which is right here, going through both chains of each square. We're going to make a single crochet, and we're going to make a spike stitch right where the bottom of that next spike stitch is. So going through there, make your spike. Gonna find the next chain, make a single crochet, going into the bottom of that spike. We're gonna make a single crochet, and we're gonna repeat this all the way across the row. All right guys, we are basically finished the bottom. We're now at the last stitch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our 4th corner, and we're gonna make 2 single crochets into that last chain. Now we're gonna rotate our work, and we're gonna work along the right side. So the right side is basically the exact same as the left side. So what we're going to do is, now that we made our first single crochet, we're gonna go into basically where these 2 spike stitches meet, that little hole or gap there, and we're gonna make a spike stitch. Now going closer to the end of this color section, we're gonna go and we're gonna make a single crochet. And that's it for the salmon colored. Now we're moving on to the dark pink. So for the dark pink, we're gonna insert our hook basically inside this spike stitch, and we're gonna make a spike. Going into the center of the dark pink section, we're gonna make a single crochet, and going into the center of this spike stitch, the blue spike stitch, we are going to make a spike. And we're going to repeat that all the way across until we get to the first stitch of the round. Alright guys, we are at the end of the right side. So we've just made our last spike stitch, and if you remember, the first stitch of the round is a corner, so we made 2 single crochets into that stitch. So we're gonna find that first stitch, go under both loops, yarn over, pull through the stitch and the loop on your hook, and that makes a slip stitch. So this is what the first round looks like. Alright guys, so for round 2, we are going to make it so that the border almost looks like these zigzag stitches that we've been making for our pot holder. And we're also going to add a chain circle at the same time. So our chain circle is going to be worked in the last stitch across the top, and then we're going to kind of go around. So for round 2, we are going to start by making a chain 1, and into that first stitch of the round, so the stitch that we made our slip stitch into, we're going to make 1 single crochet. Okay, now instead of working into the next single crochet, we're actually going to make a single crochet 2 together, and we're going to join these spike stitches together to make that kind of triangle look. So find your second leg of your last spike that you made, okay, going under that leg, find the first leg of the first spike stitch you made, so right here, and we're going to yarn over, pull through the legs of both stitches, and draw up a loop. So we have 2 loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over, pull through both loops. Okay, not the prettiest, but that joins those 2 spike stitches together. Now, going into the next spike stitch, we're going to work a single crochet into that stitch. And instead of working into the single crochet, we are going to make a single crochet 2 together, and we're going to join these 2 spike stitches together. So remember guys, going under the second leg of our first spike, okay, and going under the first leg of our second spike, gonna yarn over, pull through both legs, and draw up a loop. Now yarn over, pull through both loops, and that joins those 2 spike stitches together. Now into the next spike, we're gonna make a single crochet. Instead of working into the single crochet, we're going to single crochet 2 together, so join these 2 spike stitches together. Alright, single crochet in the next spike stitch, single crochet 2 together, Alright, and this is what it's looking like so far. So we're going to do this all the way around except for our corner stitches. So I'm going to show you guys how to work your corner when you get to it and add a chain circle. Alright guys, we've just made a single crochet into the last spike at the top of our pot holder. Okay, so now we're at our second corner. So we have 2 single crochets. Now normally what we would do is we would work a single crochet into the first stitch, and then instead of making a single crochet into the next single crochet, we would instead make a single crochet 2 together, joining these 2 spike stitches together. So that's normally how you handle corners. So you will do that for the 3rd corner and the 4th corner. But because we want to add a chain circle, here is how we are going to do the 2nd corner. So into that first single crochet, we're just going to make a single crochet like normal, okay? And we are going to chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 13. Now that we've chained 13, we're going to make a circle. So we're going to find this single crochet that we made, and we are going to go through the front loop of that stitch, and we're going to go through that 2nd leg of the stitch, so right here, kind of like we're going on a diagonal. So I'll show you that one more time. We're going to kind of tilt our work. You see these 2 loops here, basically going to go underneath both on a diagonal. We're going to yarn over, pull through those loops, and then also pull through the loop on your hook. And that makes a slip stitch. So we've just made our chain circle, and we are now done the top portion of our potholder. So now we're gonna go around as normal. In our corner, we have a second single crochet. We're gonna not work into it and instead make a single crochet 2 together, joining these 2 spikes together. Okay, and then we're gonna find our first spike and we're gonna make a single crochet into it. All right, where we see a single crochet, we're gonna single crochet 2 together and join these spike stitches. Single crochet into the spike, single crochet these 2 spike stitches together, and so on. We're going to do this all the way around. Alright, so this is what it's looking like so far. So as you guys can see, this really is starting to match the rest of our zigzag stitches. So the border kind of blends in. Alright, I'm going to meet you guys back here at the end of this round, so you now know how to work into each stitch, and when you get to the corner, you now know how to work into it. We're not going to add any more chain circles, so I will meet you back here. We're basically at the end of the round. We just have one more single crochet to work into, so we're going to single crochet 2 together, and going into that last spike, we're going to make a single crochet, okay, and we're going to find the first single crochet of the round. So we're going to insert our hook under both loops of that stitch, yarn over, and pull through the stitch and the loop on your hook to make a slip stitch. Now to fasten off, we're just going to pull up on the loop on our hook and keep pulling to make a nice long tail. Trim it when you're ready and pull it tight. Now thread your yarn needle with this tail, and what we're going to do is kind of just flip our work to the back, so we're looking at the back side, and just kind of weave our end through a few stitches, make a knot, that way it's nice and secure, and then we can kind of go into the center of our pot holder if we can, between the front and back side, okay, and pull it out, and when we're ready, just trim our tail. Now weave in the other end and you are done. So you might notice that your sides kind of curl a little bit. They make really nice rounded corners. If you'd rather a more like flat, seamless look, you can block your work, but if not, your pot holder is complete. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this potholder tutorial. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out, and I hope that you guys are too. If you like this stitch, I also do. I've been working on a crochet blanket that uses this stitch, so that will be out probably by the end of the month, or so late September, early October. So stay tuned, guys. There will be a solid color version, and then also, you know, a striped colored version because it looks so pretty. As always, thank you so much for watching, and please let me know how your pot holders turned out. You can always share a picture in the Crochet Along Facebook group, which is linked in the description box below. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next month for a new pot holder pattern.